assistant before that. Kasper Hjulmand is the Denmark coach, incidentally. We'll celebrate a year in charge at the start of July, and he'll be hoping his team are very much still involved in this competition by then, as Andreas Christensen for Denmark, monopolising the ball, finds Kjær on the halfway line. Now Vass, closed down by Kamara, who gets a toe in, but can't prevent the ball squeezing through to Højbjerg. It's a 5-3-2 formation from Finland, so defensive, yes, with the five at the back, but Pohjanpalo and Pukki are playing up front, although they're each taking turns to drop in and support the midfield at times. Højbjerg's allowed to turn inside the centre circle for Denmark. Finds Vass. Productive ball forward from Vass. Lovely touch from Eriksson into the penalty area. Shot is blocked. Kamara is able to clear. It was Arajuri who got the important block in for the Finns. Denmark will come again. Delaney to Mehele on the left-hand side. A little step over to get away from Sparv. Pulls it back to Delaney once again. His dink ball into the box, and 2 or 3 players going for the ball. It was Jonas Vind for Denmark, and I think it's been adjudged that he got the last touch under a little bit of pressure there from both O'Shaughnessy and Arajuri. Will be a goal kick though to Finland, but Radetzky's been a little bit rash in trying to release Raitala down the right hand side, and Denmark have it back. Delaney and Brathwaite combine. It's blocked behind by Toivio for another Denmark corner, doing most of their attacking, the Danes down their left hand flank. This is the 4th or 5th corner already in the game. They've all been from that side of the pitch and all taken by Christian Eriksen, who again stands over the ball. Does have a short option there in the form of Vass, but I think he will lift this into the area. Indeed he does. Should be Radetzky's ball though, and is. Confident claim from the Bayer Leverkusen goalkeeper, who again wants to quickly distribute the ball out, and he's got away with it because his attempted throw was actually blocked as he looked to throw that by Brathwaite. In fact, he's swung his right arm back there, Radetzky, to bowl it out, and he's actually hit Brathwaite, who was just jogging past, and he bailed out by referee Anthony Taylor, given a free kick. But I don't think there was particularly anything that Martin Brathwaite did wrong there. Finland just need to perhaps calm down in possession. They have it now with Pukki, who holds the ball up well, waiting for support, gets it down the left-hand side from Pohjanpalo and from Kamara. Sliding challenge comes in from Christensen, and Anthony Taylor says it was an illegal one from the Chelsea player. There'll be a free kick to Finland. Gets a bit of the ball, Christensen, but it is one of those flying, diving in challenges where he catches the man as well. These days you don't get away with that, and it's an opportunity for Finland to get bodies forward. Those 3 centre-backs, Toivio, Arajuri and O'Shaughnessy forward from the back. Lod is standing over the free kick, just about on the touchline, midway inside the Denmark half. It is lifted into the area by Lod, but easily headed away at the front post by Højbjerg. Kamara will gather the pieces though for Denmark, finds Raitala, who lifts the ball back towards the edge of the Danish penalty area, but to no one in blue. It can be easily gathered by Daniel Vass. Denmark 0, Finland 0, and the home side doing the most of the early running, as you would probably expect, but so far Finland, from a defensive point of view, are standing reasonably strong. Christensen for Denmark, out to Mæhle on the left-hand side. The Atalanta fullback Joachim Mæhle, in his 11th cap, works it across to the opposite side of the pitch now. Vass to Eriksson. Brathwaite back out to Daniel Vass. Now a bit of space actually for Denmark to look to work in. Eriksson. Højbjerg's made a rare dart forward. Eriksson uses him as a decoy, instead sweeps out to Delaney. Højbjerg goes into the area, and it's aimed into Pierre-Emile Højbjerg from Thomas Delaney. The 2 central midfielders combining, and Højbjerg's header was on target and needed saving from Radetzky. On the stretch, it's a good header from Højbjerg. Just a little bit too central. It's a save you would expect Radetzky to make. But again, positive, proactive play from Denmark. That's the 2 defensive midfielders combining that and creating a decent opportunity. And another corner now for the Danes. Again, Eriksson will take, this time an outswinger from the right-hand side in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed clear by Pohjanpalo. And Pukki can now break forward down the left-hand side for Finland. Shows a good turn of pace, actually. Does well, Pukki, but so does Paulsen coming back to put a challenge in there, the forward, and prevent the ball going out for a throw-in. So possession is turned over, but then slap ball forward there from Højbjerg sees Finland win the ball back. Toivio into Raitala. Back into Juna Toivio again, 33-year-old, plays for Häcken in Sweden. And two of the three centre-backs actually in Swedish football for Finland, as Christian Eriksson gets hold of the ball for Denmark once again. He's being marshalled there by the work of Jurinen. O'Shaughnessy now for Finland steps in and flicks a nice ball into the skipper, Tim Sparv, another one of the Finnish players that has had a bit of a race against time to be fit for these finals. Sparv winning his 82nd cap, the 34-year-old. This is a good ball forward from Toivio into Pukki. Almost got caught in possession there by Kerr, but was just about able to hold on to it. Kamara now for Finland. Gets it back from Jurinen. Tim Sparv now, the central of the three midfielders for Finland. Goes back towards Arajuri. Sparv now back to his goalkeeper as well, Radetzky, who's closed down by Jonas Vind, but is able to clip the ball forward. Pukki and Pohjanpalo jostling for it. It'll break now to Robin Lod. Kamara will carry it over the halfway line. 17 minutes on the clock. Denmark 0, Finland 0. Glenn Kamara of Rangers trying to flick the ball beyond Højbjerg. Wasn't quite able to do so. Actually ricochet back off Højbjerg onto Kamara. And frustratingly from the Finnish player's point of view, out for a Denmark throw-in. Daniel Vass will take it. Gets it back off Christian Eriksson and puts the ball into the middle of the park. Christensen chests it down, plays it out towards Melee, who's supported by Brathwaite down the left-hand side. In fact, no, it's Paulsen. Those two have switched wings temporarily at least. Paulsen driving in from the left, finds Eriksson. Vass makes a dart. Brathwaite now on the right, gives it back to Christian Eriksson, 20 yards from goal. Might fancy a strike, does, forces a save from Radetzky. Again, it was a good height and a save you'd expect the goalkeeper to make, and he got good distance on his parry clear, all the way out to Robin Lod on the left-hand side. Raitala now for Finland, just probably sensibly slows play down. Kamara to Arajuri. Now Daniel O'Shaughnessy, if you're wondering why he has a very Irish-sounding name, by the way. He's born in Finland, but his father is Irish. There's a brother who was a former professional footballer as well, Patrick O'Shaughnessy. As I mentioned before, he's the only one of the Finnish squad who plays his club football in his homeland of HJK Helsinki. As there's a clear push there on Daniel Vass by Jurinen. Be a free kick to Denmark, just a yard or so inside their own half on the right-hand side. Kerr, I think he'd spotted something, someone making a run early, but what he's actually done is just move that ball forward. It's almost like a kick for touch in rugby. The waste, it'll be a Finland throwing over on their right-hand side in their right-back position. Denmark 0, Finland 0. Most of the early running down, though, has been done by the Danes. Lukas Radetzky in the Finland goal has had to save from Jonas Vind, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg's header, and Christian Eriksson. Nothing really for Kasper Schmeichel to do at the other end so far. But Finland will be happy they're still 0-0, although they've turned possession over there a little bit cheaply. Lod unable to keep the ball in play. Melee will take this resulting throw-in for Denmark, deep inside Finnish territory. Home support trying to get behind their team at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. 38,000 capacity, or just over, so 16,000 in attendance is almost 50%. He's making a really good atmosphere as we tip beyond the 20-minute mark. Schmeichel does get a rare touch for Denmark now. Rolls it out to Melee on the left-hand side. Now Delaney into Højbjerg and across to Vass, who can carry the ball over the halfway line before checking back and finding Andreas Christensen. Højbjerg once more drops in, makes himself a third centre-back at times, certainly to come and get the ball and try and dictate the play from a deeper position, although as we've seen with his headed chance, he does have that licence to get forward when he can as well. Poulsen for Denmark into Delaney, who again clips the ball into the box. Oh, it's left by O'Shaughnessy. Not sure if he got a shout. It was a real risk from O'Shaughnessy, and I think it took a touch of Urenan, the left wing-back, who was caught off guard by his teammate leaving it, and it's gone behind for a corner. Could have actually been a lot worse than that for Finland. Bit of a breakdown in communication there. But another set piece for the Danes, another opportunity for Christensen and Kjær to come forward from the back. Eriksson again monopolising the set pieces, drills this one towards the far post. It's brought down by Delaney and lashed towards goal by Thomas Delaney, but it was a little bit rushed from the Borussia Dortmund man, and it goes high over the top of the crossbar. Approaching the midway point in the first half, still goalless between Denmark and Finland, but it is all the Danes really creating all of the chances. Lukas Radetzky in the Finland goal has been busy. He's saved from Jonas Vind, from a header by Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, and the long-range strike from Christian Eriksson. Thomas Delaney sent an effort from an Eriksson corner over the top of the crossbar as well. Finland not offering anything really going forward. They probably can't afford to play like this for the rest of the game if they want to take something from the contest, but for the time being they are all square at 0-0. Yeah, that is the most important thing for Finland as we approach the halfway point in this first half. They are still on level terms with their Scandinavian rivals. It's Denmark looking to come forward again with Braithwaite down the left-hand side. He and Poulsen have switched back over once again. There is a fluidity to that attacking line now for Denmark. Finland do turn possession over. Raitala, who gets it, goes back towards Toivio. Percentage ball forward. Pukki gets there ahead of Kjær, and he's goal side of Kjær. It's a foot race, but Kjær was just a little bit quicker and perhaps a bit stronger as well. Pukki complaining to the referee that he was being held by Pukki, the AC Milan player, who was initially hesitant. That allowed Pukki to nip in a foot race there. He was really getting away from each other, and they were both grappling. It was just 6-1, half a dozen of another, really. The referee made the right call. Kjær was just that little bit sharper to get to the ball. A little bit of a warning there for Denmark. Pukki is a nuisance. He's not the quickest, he's not the tallest, he's probably not the strongest either, but he has a knack for popping up at the right time and in scoring important goals. So many he got during qualifying for the Euro 2020.
He's a lucky boy, though, Kjær, because he did have a couple.
Finland have a throw-in now midway inside Denmark's half, but it looks like they are lining up another one of those long throws. We've already seen one from Daniel O'Shaughnessy. He's gone across to the right-hand side now to line up another one. Certainly a weapon, this for Finland. It's such a long throw from O'Shaughnessy. Heads go up. It's actually been given as a foul. I think it was Pohjanpalo. May have just caught his man as they jostled in the air. Yeah, just slightly into the back of Thomas Delaney. He's probably nudged, actually, Pohjanpalo by his teammate Arayuri behind him into Delaney, who is back on his feet and doesn't need to receive any treatment. But that Daniel O'Shaughnessy long throw does appear, although they haven't created anything from it yet, Finland, it does appear to be their main weapon, if you like. They are a big physical side. Both these teams are pretty big in truth. Some pieces could prove key.
Teşekkür ederim Nurcum benim ya. Bak yine Hiko yazıyorlar.
Urenan on the left-hand side. He steps away from Poulsen. Sliced forward by O'Shaughnessy, but Kjær taking no chances. Turns it out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line to the Finns. O'Shaughnessy again coming to take this. This one he just takes more conventionally in towards the feet of Pohjanpalo, who's easily robbed by Højbjerg. Caught on his heels there, Pohjanpalo. Braithwaite now into the area for Denmark. Gets a shot away as well, Martin Braithwaite, but wide of the near post. The Finnish players covering across there. Toivio and Raitala did enough to force him wide. Arayuri there as well. And he couldn't wrap his left foot round it, the Barcelona man. High fives between Toivio, Raitala and Arayuri. Celebrating getting their job done. We saw that last night, didn't we, in the Italy-Turkey game. Italy 3-0 up into second half stoppage time. Giorgio Chiellini puts in a great block to deny Busenur&Bekir. And even though it would have had no bearing on the result, he's celebrating like it was a goal, punching the air with delight, which was fabulous to see. Defenders celebrating defending as loose pass there from Christian Eriksen, asking too much of Delaney. Throwing to Finland as we approach the 26-minute mark in this Group B contest. Denmark 0, Finland 0. Later on this service, the second Group B game will be taking place incidentally. Belgium, the group favourites, up against Russia in St. Petersburg. It's coming together there between Thomas Delaney of Denmark and he's left his Finnish opponent in a heap. He's offering a hand of apology. I think it's Toivio who turned away from him, and it's not a great challenge at all from Delaney. I think he might have tried to pull out of it, but almost a collision of shins that has left Toivio crumpled in a heap. Back on his feet now, though, and play does resume with the Finnish free kick. No yellow card for Delaney. Remember, Robin Lod is in the referee's notebook. Booked inside the opening 10 minutes, the Finnish midfielder. Radetzky into the feet of Tim Sparv. Finland are seeing a little bit more of the ball over recent minutes, still struggling to create, but it has given them a little bit of a respite from a defensive point of view. Radetzky going along there towards Pohjanpalo, cleared by Christensen. Pukki's gone down off the ball there as Christensen was clearing. I think it's been spotted by Anthony Taylor. The two players just making Højbjerg aware that Pukki's down, and eventually Denmark do sportingly put the ball out of play so Pukki can receive a bit of treatment. Not sure if he got caught by a flailing arm there from Christensen, who's offering a hand of apology. Just as he was clearing the ball, maybe he did just catch Timo Pukki a sore one, and yet that's exactly what happened just looking at the replay. Has no idea Pukki's there, completely accidental, but it is a bit of a forehand smash right into the nose or mouth area of Timo Pukki. What it does mean is it gives an opportunity for the players of both sides to take on a bit of water on the side of the pitch, with 28 minutes having been played. Denmark 0, Finland 0. We saw in Baku it was very warm this afternoon for the match between Wales and Switzerland, ended in a 1-1 draw. It's currently 18 degrees in Copenhagen. Very pleasant June evening. Anthony Taylor, if he wants the play to resume, but the play is actually a little bit slow getting back on after taking water on the side. Pukki is okay. Uranen sportingly throws the ball back to Denmark, and they can resume play in their own half with Højbjerg. Finds Christensen. Brings it over the halfway line. Melee. Supported by Brathwaite. Martin Brathwaite has a blue wall in front of him, so goes back into Christensen, and now Højbjerg inside the centre circle. Denmark will try down the right-hand side this time. Vass whips the ball forward. Vind sliding in, just about retains possession. Got there ahead of Lod. And now there is a little bit of space for Melee down the left-hand side. Wants to come on his right foot. It's a dangerous cross into the box as well. And another collision there between Uranen and Radetzky, with Poulsen sniffing around the pieces. They've all come off a little bit hurt there. Really dangerous ball from Melee between Radetzky and Uranen. They do enough to usher the ball away from Yusuf Poulsen. Almost could have been a comical mix-up. The collide come together, a bit of a head collision maybe between the two, but Radetzky was able to react and gather the ball quickly, so nobody could tap the ball into the empty net. It's Uranen who's come off the worst for wear. I think he's been winded. I think he's almost taken Radetzky's body into his midriff, and yeah, just left him winded there. Jere Uranen. plays his club football in Belgium with Genk, 26-year-old. Based all around Europe, really, the squad of Finland for choice goalkeeper Anssi Jakola at Bristol Rovers. A couple of players in America as well. I mentioned Robin Lod plays for Minnesota United, as does his teammate Raitala, Jukka Raitala at right back, and as well at Montreal is Lassi Lapalainen, 22-year-old forward on the bench this evening. We might have a fair amount of stoppage time to come at the end of this first half, with plenty of injury delays. Radetzky's getting some treatment as well at the moment, just disrupting the flow of the game though, really. Still goalless between Denmark and Finland. There's been quite a few delays, various injuries picked up by one or two players. No one's had to go off though, which is a good thing. Those substitutions are needed. Denmark continuing to do most of the probing. Haven't created too much though over recent minutes. One really good cross from Joachim Melee almost led to a mix-up between Lukas Radetzky, the Finland goalkeeper, and wing-back Jari Jurinen, but between them they did just about enough. Poulsen, who was sniffing around trying to find a tap-in, and then an opening goal for Denmark, which at the moment eludes them, as it remains Denmark 0, Finland 0. Denmark coming forward once again though. Eriksson down the left-hand side, supported by Melee. Back in it goes to Delaney. Christensen whips it out towards the right-hand flank. It's Kjær tried to control it, but it bounced off his foot, but ran for Daniel Vass. And they'll work it back out to the left-hand side now with Joachim Melee. So very right-footed left back, the Atalanta player, but putting a threat going forward. It has to the corner take. Player down in the box though. Eriksson wants to play on, but again it's going to put the ball out of play eventually. There's another Finnish player who may need to receive some treatment. It looks like it's Daniel O'Shaughnessy who's down on this occasion. To say we're going to have plenty of stoppage time at the end of this first half by the looks of things. O'Shaughnessy with his hands over his face, looks like he might have taken a whack to his mouth. Looks to be in a bit of discomfort there. There's 4 or 5 players going for the ball at the front post when the initial corner came in, and in fact it's the ball which O'Shaughnessy takes right in the mouth. Painful one. He'll receive a little bit of treatment now. Just caught his tongue. He might have bit his tongue or something like that. O'Shaughnessy. There certainly seemed to be clearing a bit of blood around the mouth or nose area. We've seen Pukki, Radetzky and Jurinen all need to receive treatment over the last few minutes or so for Finland. I think their boss, Markku Kanerva, will be pretty satisfied with what he's seen from his side so far in the first minutes in a major men's international tournament. Denmark will be expecting to win this game. Perhaps Kasper Hjulmand will be a little bit frustrated that his side, yes, they've created chances, but you wouldn't say they've had a clear-cut opening as of yet. The best one was probably Højbjerg's header 20 minutes or so ago. O'Shaughnessy is helped back to his feet and play can resume. We're in a really good, promising position, Denmark, with Eriksson on the left-hand side when he put the ball out. I don't think Finland are going to be returning it in that kind of area necessarily. O'Shaughnessy comes back onto the pitch. Tissue paper up his nose, which is what Pookie's sporting at the moment as well, to stem the flow of any potential blood. The referee's just going to do a drop ball actually on the left-hand side, so Denmark can pick up where they left off, and that's exactly what Anthony Taylor's done. Eriksson pulls it back to Melee, who lifts the ball towards the far post, should be gathered by Lukas Radetzky, and is. I don't know, from Anthony Taylor. Just making the opposing team return possession to the side that had it, which, as I say, Finland would have been entitled to just launch that back deep into Denmark's territory, give it to Kasper Schmeichel, the goalkeeper. But no, Taylor recognising Denmark were in a promising position and allowed them the opportunity to get the ball back into the box. Finland now looking to work the way forward. Kers conceded a throw-in. It's midway inside the Denmark half, but I think this probably will spell another O'Shaughnessy long throw. Although he's come across and he's actually taken it short now, so they do have that kidology as an option as well. O'Shaughnessy gets it back off Arayuri. He's given it away though, O'Shaughnessy. It's picked up by Højbjerg, supported by Poulsen down the right-hand side. Poulsen lifts the ball into the box. It comes to Vind. Nice turn from Jonas Vind. Shot blocked by Toivio. Denmark can keep the attack alive. Eriksson now has his pocket picked by Lord, who's on a yellow card. Can't go into the challenge with Poulsen. It breaks back to Denmark. Eriksson's cross. Diving header clear by Raitala. Lod then, lovely little spin to get away from one challenge. Coming across though to cover the danger was Delaney, who turns it out of play for a throw-in. All of a sudden the game bursting to life there as well. Still Denmark 0, Finland 0. O'Shaughnessy this time sent a long throw down the line, or he was about to there. He's just checked as he was about to launch that throw. He goes short instead to Kamara. O'Shaughnessy, that's not the intended ball, but it's turned into a really good pass for Raitala, who can break forward. Brathwaite tracking back, and that allows Melee to come across and put in a good challenge. Going now to Denmark. Joachim Melee will take. So he's had a good impression in this match, the Atalanta player, breaking forward from left back. That's when Denmark have looked at their most threatening coming forward. Jonas Vind into Delaney. Has been linked with a move to Southampton in the Premier League, the Dortmund player, and he switched a lovely angle pass out to Vass on the right-hand side for Denmark. Now Poulsen goes back towards Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, former Southampton player, of course. Højbjerg can tell Delaney all about it if his fellow midfielder does want to move to St Mary's over the summer. Although he has been a regular early throughout his time at Borussia Dortmund. Eriksson now trying to release Brathwaite, but there was too much on the pass there. Hasn't really been able to find his range in this first half so far, Christian Eriksen. As I say, won the title with Inter last season, was seemingly on his way out and struggling for game time during the first half of the campaign, but didn't manage to secure a move elsewhere and ended up playing a more prominent role during the second half of the season as Inter won their first title in a decade. On the ball again now, the Danish number 10, supported by Delaney. Nice little ball rolling to the feet of Vind, who links up with Brathwaite. Brathwaite, edge of the box, curls an effort towards goal, and it's not too far wide of the target from the former Middlesbrough player. He's allowed to cut in onto his right foot. Toivio didn't get close enough to him. He just couldn't wrap his foot around it as much as he needed to, really, to get that on target. Still a decent sighter from Martin Brathwaite, who turned 30 earlier this month, winning his 51st cap this afternoon. It's a very experienced Danish squad, it has to be said. Kjær, Eriksson, both with over 100 caps, plenty with over 50 as well. That's Raitala for Finland. Thanks for throwing down the line. Gets it back from Pohjanpalo. There's a long ball forward now, Jukka Raitala. Pukki jostling with Kjær. Kjær's able to scramble it clear. And in the end, the ball will just roll harmlessly through, actually, to Kasper Schmeichel, who gets a a rare touch with his gloves. Into the final 5 minutes of the opening 45 in this Euro 2020 Group A clash, taking place at the Parken Stadium in Denmark. Denmark 0, Finland 0. We'll bring you independent off-tube studio commentary of this game, like we will the other game in this group, which takes place at 8 o'clock this evening. Belgium, one of the tournament favourites, up against Russia in St. Petersburg. Not sure if home advantage in that one, and we know how well they did reaching the quarterfinals on home turf at the last World Cup. It's Christensen for Denmark, out to Melee on the left-hand side. He's driving forward again, the full-back, supported by Højbjerg, who dinks the ball towards the far post. It's Vass who gets up above Jurinen. There's enough pressure, though, from the wing-back to put off Vass, who wasn't able to nod his header back across goal, instead straight into the gloves of Lukas Radetzky, who launches the long ball forward, looking for Poyampalo. Kerr gets to the bouncing ball first. Now Vass back in his right-back position. Ball forward, well cut out, though, by Sparv, using his experience well there. The Finland captain goes back to O'Shaughnessy. Ball down the line. Pukki, though, with a loose one in field. Kerr has it for Denmark. Early long ball forward from him. Too much on it, though, for Brathwaite. Radetzky can gather. Goalkeeper balls it out to Kamara. He works out to Raitala on the right-hand side. Kamara then drops his shoulder, turns away from Delaney, but can't find Pukki with the pass. It's picked up by Højbjerg, breaking down the left-hand side. He's got Brathwaite. He's got Vind in support. Can't quite find either. Paulus Arayuri coming across and sliding in to clear the ball away. Only at the expense of a throw-in. And there's a Denmark player down now off the ball. And they're signalling quickly for the medics to come on. It's Christian Eriksen who's gone down, and he looks to be in quite a degree of discomfort. Danish players gathered around him trying to help him out, and they're quickly ushering the medical team onto the pitch. This does not look good for Eriksen. The medical team are on there. Denmark player on his side. To be in a degree of discomfort. Anthony Taylor, very quickly, the referee there, getting officials onto the pitch. Again, the medical team, onto the pitch, and you can tell people struggling, and he looks really dazed, Christian Eriksen. More medical team coming on a stretcher. I'm not sure what's happened at all, if he's just collapsed off the ball. This is really, really concerning, though. Hopefully he is okay, Christian Eriksen, such an integral part of the Danish squad. We're not seeing any replays, which is probably a good thing in truth. You can only presume he's collapsed off the ball there, Eriksen. This is a really, really concerning situation, though. Danish players in conversation. Just looking at, I think it's Arayuri, the Finnish player, has got his hands over his head. He's clearly concerned. They haven't moved Eriksen as of yet. The stretcher is on. This is a real concern. He's on his side, on his right-hand side, Eriksen. I'm not sure if he fell that way or if the players who came across quickly moved him into what is the recovery position, really. I mentioned the heat. It's only 18 degrees, isn't it? But I'm not 100% sure what is going on. They seem to be trying to resuscitate Christian Eriksen at the moment. This is really concerning. This is really concerning stuff now, actually. They seem to be trying to resuscitate Christian Eriksen on the pitch. This is a real concern now for the Denmark player. The Inter Milan former Tottenham footballer. I'm not sure if any of the fans in attendance will be 100% sure what is happening now. What the Danish team have done is they're standing around Eriksen. They're not looking. They're allowing the medical team to carry out what they need to carry out, but they're standing around and like blocking so TV cameras can't see what's going on. There's a lot of concerned faces. The Denmark manager Kasper Hjulmand is on his knees, really, on his haunches, watching on. We've just panned the crowd to some of the Finnish supporters around if they have got a better view of that and can see what's going on. This is so concerning though now. Danish players close to tears at the moment, almost praying really as the treatment continues to go on. Delaney looks like he's close to tears. This is awful. Anthony Taylor, the referee, just having a word, I think, with the officials on the sidelines. They are trying to resuscitate Christian Eriksen now. This is really concerning stuff. As you can imagine, we're all hoping and praying that Christian Eriksen is okay. The Danish players are standing around him. Finnish Tim Sparv, the Finland captain, in consultation with Anthony Taylor and the two managers. Markku Kanerva is there, as is Kasper Hjulmand. I mean, this is unprecedented circumstances at this moment in time, isn't it? It's really concerning what's going on right now. I mean, the game tournament pales into insignificance at the moment, doesn't it? But this is really concerning stuff now for Christian Eriksen. The Danish supporters watching on. As I say, it will be going round, won't it? They'll be realising what's happening. There'll be a really sombre atmosphere in the Parken Stadium at the moment. Denmark 0, Finland 0. We can only hope that Christian Eriksen is okay. That is all that matters really at this moment in time. There's supporters hugging now those over on that side of the pitch. It's over in the left-hand corner, the Denmark were attacking in, and there's fans gathered around there so they can clearly see what's going on. Very difficult for them at the moment, very difficult for everyone involved. The Finnish players have moved to the other side of the pitch to allow the Danish medical team, the medical team that is there. I'm sure everyone will be helping out Christian Eriksen, those brave Denmark players as well, standing behind their teammate and hoping and praying that he is okay, but giving him the privacy and what he deserves, just to carry on. But it's really difficult for everyone concerned. This is awful stuff. We've all looked forward to this delayed European Championships taking place this summer, but it pales into insignificance, doesn't it, right now? Really upsetting scenes, it has to be said. All we can do is watch on, hope and pray for Christian Eriksen. There's everyone's in shock. I'm in shock myself, it has to be said, with what's going on right now. Everyone, it's supposed to be a joyous occasion, this, a major international tournament match being played in Denmark, in Copenhagen. But this is really tough, this now. Anthony Taylor's still in conversation there, talking now with Kasper Hjulmand solely, and you know, human compassion, everything has to come into this, doesn't it? There's no way anyone wants to play football at this moment in time at all. All these Danish players can do is pray at the moment, and I absolutely feel for every one of them at this moment in time. Finnish players as well, everyone involved really. This is a horrible situation. We just pray and hope that Christian Eriksen is okay. That's all we can do at this stage. Everyone feeling helpless, I can imagine there. The medical team will be working really hard to try and get Eriksen to where he needs to be. He's receiving CPR, as I mentioned. Medical staff are continuing to try and resuscitate him. It's been 5 minutes or so now, hasn't it, since the incident took place. But this is not, no one could have imagined. This is truly awful. And as I said, this football match is it's not going to continue, I can only presume, and this is really sad at this moment in time. Hopefully Christian Eriksen is okay. Danish players, everyone's just standing around, they're shell-shocked, as you can imagine. Everyone over, apart from the Danish players, I think there's around 7 or 8 of them are gathered around, and they've created that wall to create the privacy that is required at this moment in time. The solidarity that they are showing at the moment, the bravery. The camera is panning over every now and again to kind of show us what is happening, but I think we just need to give the privacy, don't we, to the medical team to give the treatment the best they can to Christian Eriksen. Inter Milan player, remember, former Tottenham player, fantastic footballer that he is, and hopefully he is okay. That's all we can hope for at this moment in time, and that is all that matters as well. Everyone gathered around, and you've got to praise as well the reaction and how quickly they managed to get the medical team on. Anthony Taylor was very quick to summon everyone over, as was a number of the Danish players. You realise straight away, don't you, the significance of a situation. The Denmark coach now, Kasper Hjulmand, is walking over to where Eriksen is receiving treatment, probably coming to console his players and of course check on Eriksen as well. I mean, there'll be protocols in place, I'm sure, in these situations. As the treatment continues to go on. It's really, really, really upsetting, this, though. It's really, really difficult, though, this, isn't it? Really, really difficult circumstances for everyone involved. We can only hope and pray that Christian Eriksen is okay. I keep reiterating. He collapsed on the pitch, probably around the 40-minute mark or so. The screen I'm watching now, being independent off-tube studio commentary, they've taken down how long has been played in the match, but it's been around 10, maybe 15 minutes now since Eriksen went down. He's still receiving treatment. Rightly, the camera is not panning over there at this moment in time. Kasper Hjulmand has been over the Denmark boss, and he's come back across to the touchline, speaking to players, his staff, everyone else around. Players gathered. There's a lady there with Eriksen's shirt on, that she's on the side of the pitch. Kasper Schmeichel's coming across to speak to her. I don't really want to speculate who that lady may be, but people will want to see and make sure he's okay, and they should be allowed to do that as well when it's safe and correct to do so. Kasper Hjulmand's been over, as I say, to talk to or to see what's happening over there on the far side. Simon Kjær and Kasper Schmeichel are comforting that woman now. But Kasper Hjulmand is talking to the referee again. I can only presume the game will be now postponed. Well, it will be postponed. It's just a matter about the best way of going about things at this moment in time. The Finland players appear to be walking off the pitch. I think that's the right thing to do. Just allow the privacy, the treatment to take place. This is hugely, hugely upsetting, as you can imagine. As I say, thoughts and prayers with Christian Eriksen, his family, his friends, everyone involved. Anthony Taylor again has been in conversation. There'll be UEFA officials there trying to find the best solution for this. The Finland players, the players who are on the pitch, the staff and the substitutes, they're all walking off the field of play now. Denmark players a lot of them are remaining around Christian Eriksen. As I say, Simon Kjær and Kasper Schmeichel went to talk to a lady on the far side. Substitutes and the other Danish players, the staff are kind of just gathered on the side of the pitch waiting to find out information. Looks like Anthony Taylor, the referee, is going off as well. Kasper Schmeichel jogging. Now we're looking at him, and he's back over there. They've lifted up some towels now to cover what's happening, what's taking place. So here's what we know so far. Around 40 minutes into the game, Christian Eriksen collapsed on the touchline with no players around him. Referee Anthony Taylor and both sets of players realised the severity of the issue and called medical staff over. And he's been receiving CPR for over 10 minutes now. Finland's players, as I mentioned, have gone to the dressing room, whilst Denmark players are still out there. And yes, so I believe this game will be called off. You can only presume. And we'll keep you updated with any further developments. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Park and Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0, but as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, The UEFA Euro 2020 match between Denmark and Finland has been postponed following the sad events around 40 minutes into the game when Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed on the field of play with no other player around him. He has been receiving treatment and we can only wish him the best, but the match has been postponed. It was 0-0 at the time it was called off. Referee Anthony Taylor taking the decision to call the match off. The UEFA Euro 2020 game between Denmark and Finland has been postponed after around 40 minutes following the tragic collapse of Christian Eriksen, the Denmark midfielder, on the pitch. Further developments to this breaking news story. The UEFA Euro 2020 game between Denmark and Finland is currently suspended after around 40 minutes. Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed on the pitch. He has been receiving treatment since then. We can only wish him our best and hopefully he is okay. But at this moment in time, the match has been suspended. We will update you with any further developments. Denmark against Finland, though, has been suspended. Field of play now. Denmark players are, a lot of them are remaining around Christian Eriksen. To say Simon Kjær and Kasper Schmeichel went to talk to a lady on the far side. Substitutes and the other Danish players, the staff are kind of just gathered on the side of the pitch waiting to find out information. Looks like Anthony Taylor, the referee, is going off as well. Kasper Schmeichel jogging. Now we're looking at him and he's back over there. They've lifted up some towels now to cover what's happening, what's taking place. Here's what we know so far. Around 40 minutes into the game, Christian Eriksen collapsed on the touchline with no players around him. Referee Anthony Taylor and both sets of players realised the severity of the issue and called medical staff over. And he's been receiving CPR for over 10 minutes now. Finland's players, as I mentioned, have gone to the dressing room, whilst Denmark players are still out there. And yes, so I believe this game will be called off. You can only presume, and we'll keep you updated with any further developments. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Park and Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was when the game was stopped. Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the The UEFA Euro 2020 match between Denmark and Finland has been postponed following the sad events around 40 minutes into the game when Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed on the field of play with no other player around him. He has been receiving treatment and we can only wish him the best, but the match has been postponed. It was 0-0 at the time it was called off. Referee Anthony Taylor taking the decision to call the match off. The UEFA Euro 2020 game between Denmark and Finland has been postponed after around 40 minutes following the tragic collapse of Christian Eriksen, the Denmark midfielder, on the pitch. Further developments to this breaking news story. The UEFA Euro 2020 game between Denmark and Finland is currently suspended after around 40 minutes. Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed on the pitch. He has been receiving treatment since then. We can only wish him our best and hopefully he is okay. But at this moment in time, the match has been suspended. We will update you with any further developments. Denmark against Finland, though, has been suspended. New field of play now. Denmark players are, a lot of them are remaining around Christian Eriksen. So say Simon Kjær and Kasper Schmeichel went to talk to a lady on the far side. Substitutes and the other Danish players, the staff are kind of just gathered on the side of the pitch waiting to find out information. Looks like Anthony Taylor, the referee, is going off as well. Kasper Schmeichel jogging. Now we're looking at him and he's back over there. They've lifted up some towels now to cover what's happening, what's taking place. Here's what we know so far. Around 40 minutes into the game, Christian Eriksen collapsed on the touchline with no players around him. Referee Anthony Taylor and both sets of players realised the severity of the issue and called medical staff over. And he's been receiving CPR for over 10 minutes now. Finland's players, as I mentioned, have gone to the dressing room, whilst Denmark players are still out there. And yes, so I believe this game will be called off. You can only presume, and we'll keep you updated with any further developments. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now. CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0. But as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now, CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0, but as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now, CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0, but as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now, CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0, but as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the Denmark player, has collapsed on the pitch without any other player around him. He has been receiving treatment on the pitch now, CPR from the medical teams available at the Parken Stadium. We will keep you updated with any further developments. It was, when the game was stopped, Denmark 0, Finland 0, but as you can imagine, the scoreline and the result pale into insignificance at the moment, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. Very sad news as Denmark against Finland is currently on hold. Christian Eriksen, the
Ladies and gentlemen,
few bricks of the red wall in place in Baku. And Danny Ward gets the nod to starting goal today ahead of Wayne Hennessy. That was a big decision for Rob Page. A back four with Ben Davis providing the tournament experience here. Joe Allen likewise in midfield alongside Joe Morrell, and after fears over his fitness, Aaron Ramsey starts. Gareth Bale and Dan James will support the big man. Kiefer Moore leads the line in what is his taste of a first major championship.
Coach Rob Page. And now the lineup of Switzerland. Number 1, Jan Sommer. Number 2, Kevin Babu. Number 4, Nico Elvedi. Number 5.
Well, the referee here is the hugely experienced Clement Turpin from France. His third major tournament. The two captains, they know each other. Gareth Bale and Granit Xhaka, Premier League rivals from opposite sides of North London.
Number 23,
Jan Sommer ready to kick off his third major tournament as Switzerland's number 1. The Swiss are back three these days, all veterans of France in 2016. Granit Xhaka hasn't missed a competitive match for Switzerland for nearly 5 years. Xherdan Shaqiri in his fourth major tournament, pulling the strings for Haris Seferovic, and Breel Embolo up top. 6 of this Swiss starting lineup started their last 16 defeat in loss to Poland on penalties 5 years ago. Well, when many people think Wales, they think Gareth Bale. A scorer in each of the group games last time out. Can he end his goal drought for Wales here? And Robert Page The man from the Rhondda Valley who was a supporter as part of Wales's famous Red Wall in France 5 years ago leads his country into a major tournament here, hoping for a fairy tale, hoping perhaps more realistically for a win to kick things off here. Vladimir Petkovic, his third major tournament as the Swiss head coach. Near 30-degree temperatures in the Azerbaijan capital Baku. Wales in red, Switzerland in white. The second match of UEFA Euro 2020 ready to go. But a united and powerful anti-racism message first, as all the players take the knee. The shrill blast of Clement Turpin's whistle. And Wales against Switzerland is underway. Touch for Aaron Ramsey. Kiefer Moore up front. Well, there were so many selection decisions.
What do you do in your reaction? And it took him 1 minute and 48 to 49 seconds after he collapses to then perform the CPR when you go back and watch. And that's the scary thing. That's the real scary thing, I think, for all of us, when you go back, is because the longer it took for them to recognize that he was unresponsive, that it wasn't a head injury, that's where this thing gets scary, and that's where this thing is way more than football, soccer, any kind of sport. This is about life, and you just hope that the right decision was made in the perfect amount of time. But that was one of the more scarier things I've ever seen.
As you said, it is the medical officer's opinion, and we don't know
absolutely
yet what's happened to Christian Eriksen. But if more details do come through, then we will, of course, keep you informed, and we are hoping for better news on him. We saw, Maka, the effect on the players, those around him on the field. It's unimaginable what they would have been going through as well.
Absolutely, and you know, Mark's right. You know via your teammates what happens. You know them inside out. You've played enough football with them. You've trained with them. You know an injury and whether it's serious or not, don't you? And the reaction on their faces indicated to all of us, because we thought it was just, you know, an injury in a football match when you're watching. But their reaction and the fact that they were trying to turn away from the situation, they knew it was serious. And you know, you can't think what is going through their minds, because, you know, they're all very, very close to him. You see how we've taken it, and I don't think any of us, I don't know whether Christian knows him personally, and we're all devastated. So the fact that you've got a group of lads who've been together for the last couple of weeks, you know, almost a tribal atmosphere, wanting to do well to represent your country and win games for your country in front of, you know, nearly up to a full house in Copenhagen. I mean, it's just...
See, the hardest thing
awful.
too, Maka, is that you're in this mindset when you're playing. It's almost as if you're invincible. And so this gives you a rude awakening that you're human. You're not invincible, because when the whistle blows, Mark, even you know this, right? The whistle blows and you're immediately say, you could run through a wall because the adrenaline's running through your body. And then all of a sudden, in a split second, we're all reminded. It's as humbling of a feeling, and we're 3,000 miles away. I can't imagine. Yeah. I can't imagine seeing that.
I mean, he's had a really good year. They've won the league. Inter Milan have won the league, first time in a long time, as we know. And to go out and represent your country in a tournament like this, in your home stadium, you know, in Copenhagen. And as I said, it just brings everything back down to life. Everything we've gone through, everything we've been dealing with of late, to see something like that.
The other question I wanted to ask you is that at this stage of the tournament, particularly, the players in camps elsewhere across Europe, and they are spread out across Europe, will be watching this game. And at the moment, the game between Belgium and Russia is scheduled to go ahead. The 3 games tomorrow are scheduled to go ahead. Without knowing what the outcome is with Christian Eriksen, the players have been watching that in their groups.
He'll have teammates playing for, whether he's in the Belgian side tonight or the Russian side, but he'll have teammates. There was plenty yesterday who played for Inter Milan. There'll be more today, there'll be more tomorrow. He'll have close friends wanting to be focused on playing in their particular game, wanting to know what's happening. But you know, we can't go ahead and vote with so much, with so many question marks.
But Mac, remember was it 2014 World Cup final? 2014 Christoph Kramer had the head injury.
Yeah,
and remember, and you were in the building.
Yeah, yes,
you were commentating on the game, and I remember all of us sitting in studio watching that, and that was. It's just when you go back and because I immediately my instincts, and everyone knows this watching this is he got hit in the head or whatever it is, and so I went back and watched 90 seconds beforehand. There's not a single player around him, Kelly and Mark, not a single player. He's just running Solomon through, receives it, and then and even some of the players didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Because they're further, they're 75, 80 yards across the field, looking across saying, well, we're good, because it was a combative game. There were collisions within the game where your natural reaction is, oh, there was a collision, it'll be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, amidst all the emotion and the concern for Christian Eriksen, there are practical decisions to be made. Just remind us of what the protocol will be for that, Mark, because you know how it would affect the referee in game.
Certainly is. I don't think there will be any protocol. Because this has never happened in a major tournament before. Yes, like Maka said, it happened in a Premier League game with Fabrice Muamba. And the match was immediately suspended. This is a tournament, so we've still got further matches to be played tonight and tomorrow. Like Maka said, there's players that he's very close to, could be affected. They're going to have to make a big decision, UEFA, to see what they will do going forward, because this is it's sickening. It's devastating to see. It doesn't matter how many medical tests he has. It's, when he signed for Inter Milan, he would have went through various heart checks. Even as a referee, we went through our heart checks. But this is just.
And it's such a good point, Mark, because it's so, in this time, are we really going to go through the second guessing and going through everything of a player at this level? At that high level. Of course, he went through the test and went through that.
It's
As you said, there are so many unknowns in this situation. What we do know is that Christian Eriksen collapsed about 43 minutes into the match between Denmark and Finland, received CPR, and the match has been suspended due to that medical emergency. If we hear any news at all, we will, of course, let you know. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Who's this game for? For those just making their start? Or those with a whole city on their back? For those who are always game? Or those who are pioneers? For those who are chasing glory? Or is it for all of us?
Volkswagen.
The old-fashioned whiskey cocktail. Perfectly crafted by J.P. Wiser's. Easily enjoyed at home by you.
When everyone's got the favorite, you take the underdog. When your friends are trash talking, you say, bring it on. When everyone's folding, you're going all in. Make a play. Bodog.net, your source of free casino games, poker strategy, and live sports odds.
When we looked at Subway's Chipotle steak and guac wrap, do you know what we said? We said that wrap deserves double the Canadian seasoned beef. Because what goes better with protein than more protein? Subway. Eat fresh.
Made with real fruit juice. This one's raspberry.
We should totally become raspberry farmers.
Yes, I love that.
We're probably not going to do that.
No.
New Sway vodka soda with real
looking for
fruit juice.
Carroll once more
Make
from his
your
man.
getaway in the
Support behind with
all-new
O'Shaughnessy.
Volkswagen house. See
the city in a whole new light. Or change course entirely.
Brathwaite working down
because
the left
even
with...
the best laid plans need an escape plan. Whatever your adventure, the all-new Taos is always game. Volkswagen.
This is what 30 minutes of boot camp tastes like. Come on, Peloton. Let it flow. Reach all the way up.
Check your vibe. It's time to grind, Peloton. Let's turn it up. Come on.
What's up, hustlers? Welcome to Peloton Outdoor. Let's get jogging.
Find your rhythm, baby. 1, 2, 1, 2. So many Peloton newbies on the leaderboard today. Welcome to the family.
Try Peloton classes free on the app. New members only. Terms apply.
Support your local Steel dealer this spring, featuring our line of Steel battery-powered lawnmowers. Make mowing your lawn a breeze with uncompromised power and great features, including a rear bagger, 7 height adjustments, and a mulching blade for $599.95. Or choose a self-propelled model starting at $749.95. Steel battery products are sold at over 1,000 locally owned authorized Steel dealers across Canada. Find your local Steel dealer today at steel.ca.
Welcome back to TSN's ongoing coverage of UEFA Euro 2020, where the match has been suspended between Denmark and Finland because of a medical emergency in the 42nd minute of the Denmark-Finland game. There is good news to bring you right now, because UEFA has made a statement saying there will be more information in around about 15 minutes' time, but that Christian Eriksen has been taken to hospital and has been stabilised. There was also a picture that has been taken from a photographer in the stadium that shows that he was alert as he was taken out of Parken Stadium a few minutes ago. He went down just as the first half was coming to a conclusion at the stadium. The match, the opening game of Group B, brought to a halt, suspended initially. UEFA is saying following the medical emergency involving Denmark's player Christian Eriksen, a crisis meeting has taken place with both teams and match officials, and further information will be communicated in about 15 minutes' time from now. The player has been transferred to hospital and has been stabilised. Let's rejoin our colleagues at ESPN. We'll be back with you as soon as we have more.
A fairy tale too ludicrous to write, and this is staggering. One of the biggest names in European football.
Yeah, trying it, but you don't succeed. That's the song.
Getty Images.
Of the more experienced.
second half of last season. It is a team made up largely of the more experienced.
keer als we de deugd schaffen. Ja. Ik heb geen andere broek. Dat is hetzelfde. Bonjour. Ça va? volgende keer als we de deuk schaffen. Ja. Ik heb geen andere broek. Dat is dezelfde. Bonjour. Ça va? one.